In a recent video, I mentioned that I'm trying to get better about committing to putting art on my walls, especially because there is so much open wall space in our new home. So today we're making some wall art and getting started right now. I have been wanting to recreate this terracotta wall hanging from Pottery Barn for years, and every time I was at the thrift store, I would look for something I could use, but eventually I realized I was never going to find this many ceramic circles that would have a cohesive look, and I came up with a new plan. I went to Amazon and I purchased a pack of 100 3-inch wood circles and 3 different colors of faux leather. This project was really easy to do, but a little bit time consuming. There are 85 circles in the Pottery Barn version, so I wanted mine to mirror that. I cut out all 85 circles, but wanted the majority to be the 2 darker color leathers, and I only cut out 15 circles of the lightest one, and then I glued the leather onto each wooden circle. Now I should have traced the circles with my Sharpie on the back felt side, and I would have been able to skip this step, but unfortunately I didn't do that, so I had to take some rubbing alcohol and get all that Sharpie off of the front of the faux leather. One of the colors of leather also had white felt on the back of it, so I colored over that with a brown Sharpie so you wouldn't see it from the side. The wood circles I got didn't have any holes in them, so I need to add that hole in order to string them up. First, I used this wood hole punch that required me to forcefully hit it with a hammer to punch through the materials. It worked, but the hole wasn't quite large enough and not super clean looking either. So after a few of these, I remembered that I had this crocodile. If you don't know what this tool is, it's basically an industrial hole punch that will punch through tougher materials, and you can find it at any craft store. It has a smaller hole and a larger hole. I used a larger one, and this was so much easier and quicker. All of the circles except for 10 of them will get 2 holes, and the last 10 only get 1 because they will be at the bottom. I cut down some black cotton twine to hang the circles with, and the Pottery Barn version looked like they kept the knots visible between each of the ceramic circles, so I just tied a basic double knot and I eyeballed the spacing. The inspiration version wasn't perfectly spaced, so I wasn't too worried about making sure that mine was all the same. It's looking a little bit messy at this point. I need to cut down the strings, but I don't want them to unravel, so I added a dab of hot glue to each knot, and I hung them up from a dowel. This project ended up costing me $50 for the wood circles and the faux leather, but that's so much better than the $400 price tag from the Pottery Barn version. This just happens to be another Pottery Barn dupe, and I've seen a few other creators make this as well. Now, I couldn't find this on the site anymore, but it did cost $129. I found this wall planter at Goodwill for just a few dollars, and it has that hammered metal look to it already. We really just need to change the overall color of it. Of course, everything that I bring home, I remove the stickers and disinfect it. Then I spray painted it black, and I added a black texture spray paint as well, but I didn't think that had quite enough texture for what I was looking for. So I mixed up some joint compound with black craft paint since I had already painted the whole thing black and want that to be the base color similar to the Pottery Barn version. And I painted it kind of messy all over to get that texture built up in areas. Now, to get that Pottery Barn look, there are tons of layers of various tones of gold, brass, and black. So I got out all of my metallic spray paints and I just layered them over each other. I totally didn't hit record at first, but you get the idea here. I just went back and forth with the different spray paints, not letting anything dry. If it was getting too dark, I went back over it with the gold. Once it was dry, I went over it with a 220 grit sandpaper to bring some of those layers of color back, just like the Pottery Barn version. Since I had added the joint compound, a few of the spots ended up looking white once sanded, so I went over them with my black acrylic paint, dabbing it on with a detail brush, and then buffing it out with my finger so it doesn't look so harsh. I think this turned out stunning. I added in some faux pink peonies like the inspiration, and this could stay out all year long. I have been seeing a needlepoint and crochet work trending all over the internet. Facebook Marketplace is a great resource to find authentic vintage needlepoint from framed art to stools, chairs, and so much more. I have been on the hunt for a stool in particular, and I found this beautiful dark academia looking needlepoint stool at a flea market while traveling. This stool was only $5 and I could not pass it up. My grandma used to frame her needlepoint artwork back in the 80s and the 90s, and she's passed those pieces off to members of my family. My brother has this small frame with florals and wild animals on it. I love this one so much. I originally had this large stunning basket with wildflowers spilling out, but it was a little bit too large for my home, and I ended up trading it with my mom for a different floral needlepoint. I absolutely love the frame on this one, and I have the perfect spot to hang it. I've been seeing needlepoint art in thrift stores recently, so if you love a mix of old and new to curate your home like I do, keep an eye out for these unique, one-of-a-kind artworks. This unconventional wall art piece might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I thought it was so unique and I love it. I found this frame thrifting and I actually liked the art inside of it, but not particularly that silver frame. I knew I was going to separate the two pieces to begin with and put the art in a better frame, but had an idea to place an old doily in a frame as art. Unfortunately, this doily was just too big for the frame, and I really like the idea of a circle inside of a square frame. So instead of trying to find the right size frame, I decided to just create one using this tiny trim that you can find at Home Depot. This trim comes in so handy for tons of different projects. I cut down the trim to create the square frame and I glued it together using wood glue super glue. Since it's so lightweight, this worked well, and I'd wanted to add a staple to the back corners, but my staples were a little bit too long and ended up going through the fronts. But I let the glue dry for a bit and I painted the frame black. Now, the doily needs something behind it, and I love adding textures to my spaces. I've had this extra pillowcase from IKEA that I've never used, and it's like a velour or velvet type texture. Of course, I love anything in this sage green color, but I cut the two layers apart so I would have just a flat piece of fabric to work with. It was pretty wrinkly from having been in its packaging, and it needed to be ironed out. The fabric also needs something to sit on for a little more stability, so I cut down some poster board that I had and then I glued the fabric on top of it. I used a spray adhesive to attach the fabric. This was the quickest option and you don't have to wait for anything to dry, or you won't see any lumps or bumps under that velvet, which would definitely show other glues through it. I just worked in sections to spray the poster and smooth out the fabric nicely on top. Now to put it all together, I glued the frame on top of the fabric poster board. And then I cut off the tag from the doily. I hot glued the doily on, and I only glued it down in strategic spots. I didn't want any glue showing through, and I want to be able to use this again in the future if I ever decide to. But that was it. I love how this turned out, and I hung it on the wall just using command strips right outside of my master bedroom. I found this stunning stained glass looking pillar candle holder at Goodwill. There was actually 2 of them, but I didn't really have a need or a want for the pair, and I only picked up 1. But I just love the colors in this, and I'm also trying to infuse more color throughout my home. Don't get me wrong, I'm a natural girl through and through, but I want to add splashes of color in accessories and things like art. This is much less expensive to swap out later if I want something new. I'm pretty sure this is just a Hobby Lobby piece or from somewhere similar and nothing special. I simply hung it on the whiskey lounge wall right next to my desk in the window. It fit perfectly here for a nice little pop color moment. To get a perfect level hang every time, I take some painter's tape to the back and I cover up those holes. And then I poke through the holes so I know exactly where my screws need to go. I noticed the shelf arm would droop a little bit when I set anything on top of it, so for an easy fix I just grabbed a little wood stir stick that I had and I broke a piece off to fit an added support, good as new. And you could set a candle here or a small little plant like I have. I found this unique palm basket at a flea market, and I love that swirl detail in the center of it. The color of it is just a little bit light for my liking. It's leaning a little bit more boho, which I used to really like that look, but now I prefer my own type of style, more finding unique items that bring me joy on a budget that match my home. So to darken it up, I took my antiquing wax and a baby wipe, and I spread it across both the back and the front. I did have to go over the front a couple of times to get the right color I was looking for. I thought this would make a cute succulent garden, but hanging up on the wall so you can see that beautiful pattern in the middle. So I grabbed some faux succulents from my stash and I played around with the arrangement, then hot glued them down in place. This was another super easy project that looks perfect and nestled in with some of my other plants right off of the kitchen.